Taurus, hi. Welcome to the greenhouse. Let's take a look at what you're currently working on and what Spirit's advice is for you on how to achieve whatever it is you're working on to its fullest potential and with as little hurdles and complications as possible, right? Let's take a look. Spirit, show me what Taurus is currently working on. That was fast. King of Swords and the Empress came out for your overall energy. Okay, cool. What is Taurus's challenge at this time? Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Five of Wands. Okay. You're working on some big stuff. That's good, though. We're addressing some big stuff, and we like that. And strength on the bottom, so you're strong enough to handle whatever this is. Okay, Taurus? What is Spirit's advice as far as what this situation is for Taurus? What is Spirit's advice? Judgment, Hierophant. I don't know why I said like Hierophant. Hierophant and the Nine of Wands. And let's get the likely outcome for Taurus, please. Maybe like one or two cards, not these clusters. Thank you. Eight of Cups. And then on the bottom, Temperance. Okay, cool. So Taurus, you're showing up like a clear communicator and like owning your own energy. This is really beautiful. I also feel like this is you deliberately making decisions to nurture yourself, because the King of Swords is Aquarius energy. And it's very analytical, but it's very like clear in its thinking and communicating, right? Like there's butterflies up ahead. So there's some kind of thought transformation here. And I think it's interesting because there's butterflies up ahead, but then on the Empress, she's got the wings. So I feel like you have some kind of idea that you're trying to like ground into a reality, or like you have a thought. Maybe like, because I know in a lot of time in therapy, right, like you'll get that mental piece, like that new idea, that perspective shift, but then like embodying it is different than just having that new thought to be able to chew on. So I feel like, honestly, like alchemy is the word that comes to mind. I think you guys are alchemizing, if that's a word. I think if you are, pretty much you're just changing thoughts into abundance. However, the appropriate path appears, right? So if it's a thought on like, oh, I should make this and sell it, then there's, you know, abundance and money. Oh, I have this feeling I should share it, you know, like those kinds of things. So I love that. You're really stepping into it. And also the Empress card is a Taurus card. So you're getting very clear on your energy, as a Venusian here, because I keep being drawn to the Venus sign. So maybe it's clear on like what it is you need in love, so how you need to show up to be able to get those things in love, or what you need as a mother, as a parent, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is, whatever you need to feel nurtured and abundant, you're understanding yourself and your needs at this time, and not only understanding them, but knowing what to do to be able to get them. But the challenge is maybe like how slow certain things have been going or are going, or how slowly people are understanding this shift in you, maybe, Taurus, because your current challenge, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card of like long-term investment, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's like, you know, is the juice worth the squeeze? This is the project we learn on, right? Like we plant the bush, we show up every day, we're watering it, you know, we're pruning it, we're taking care of it, but maybe we didn't plant it in like the spot that got the best sun for whatever it is we were planting. But, you know, do we continue to struggle to make something grow on this plant, or do we take what we learned and plant a new seed in a more favorable position? And I feel like that's what you're doing, because we have the Seven of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles, and he's the only knight in the deck that's not moving. The horse is not moving. He's looking, where am I going to plant this seed? Where do I take this energy? And I'm not sure why you're in a challenge position of like, where do I take this energy, this investment, when we also have like the Tower and the Five of Wands. Maybe it's after a Tower moment. You're like, where do I go from here? What do I do now? Like I got to Seven Pentacles. Like what comes next now? Where do I go? And that could be the hang up of why you're not sure where to go. So just before we even get to your advice, when I see a challenge like this, I feel like the answer is always wait for the dust to settle. That's why you don't know where to move yet. That's why you don't know if you should keep working on an investment or you should plant a new seed elsewhere. 444 when we said that, because there's still blockages and challenge energies when it comes to whatever this is. So very well could be, if it is a self-care thing we're working on, okay, I know I need, more, let's say exercise. That's the thing. I know I need more exercise, but then you go to make the move to solidify the investment to Knight of Pentacles, this, but then all like the negative thinking or people trying to like, I don't know if it's people in terms of your environment or people in terms of like the information that's just still like in the back of your head from programming. But it's like the challenge is you get up to go, but you don't go, okay? For whatever this is. So like, maybe you're a little more comfortable in this analytical part of whatever this is you're working on than like the embodiment. Maybe it's because confidence is a little bit shaky, because we're kind of like going into that next with Spirit's advice. Coming up, you have Judgment, the Hierophant, and the Nine of Wands. So Judgment is all about like, it's time. It's like a divine timing card, but it's time for things to rise that were buried, whether good or bad, to be dealt with or celebrated, or it's time to release something that we've been hanging on to for a really long time. But when it comes out with the Hierophant, that is also your card, Taurus. So it's like, I think it's time to release some rules around how we maybe are overprotective or really guarded. Because the Hierophant can be, and that would also be why maybe you're struggling to let yourself have good things too. Because honestly, Taurus, this kind of has the energy of like, I'm scared to have anything because anytime I've had anything, it's been taken from me kind of energy. And I can appreciate that, but I also need you to evaluate the lack of self-empowerment in that statement. That's a very like victim mindset statement. So I need you to kind of like, pick yourself up and be like, well, if I make something, then maybe I should be a little more aware of who I'm making, what I'm making around so that, I'm not around people that are going to take what I'm making. There's something about you just being not ready to step into your power, and Spirit is asking you to ask yourself why. They're not even saying do it blind. They're not even saying that. They're just saying, please ask yourself why you're not ready, so you're clear about why you're not doing what you're doing. Because if it's just that you're scared and you're trying to protect yourself, Spirit is saying, where's your faith? Because that's not your job to protect yourself. It's your job to move through the world with discernment and follow your joy. It's God's job to protect you, right? It's the angels and the people that come into your life that look over you. You don't always have to be looking over your own shoulder. How are you going to move forward and like the direction you're going in if you're always looking back? You know what I mean, Taurus? So it's almost like you're afraid to move forward because you don't want to stumble, but the most surefire way to stumble is to not be looking in the direction you're trying to go. All right, no offense, lovingly, Taurus, lovingly. But your likely outcome, it's interesting. You're likely, because we're talking about like backwards or forwards, and your likely outcome is the Eight of Cups, which is walking away and doing that internal work. So I think you're maybe realizing like, okay, while I want to go forward, while I want to grow things, while I want to like achieve A, B, and C, I do have more inner work to do before I can do that without also creating issues for myself along the way on that path. It's you deciding to accept that maybe we're not fully out of a dark night of the soul yet, or need to enter into one, depending wherever you're at in your journey. It's going to be different for all of you, right? This is just a general reading. But on the bottom of the deck, we have Temperance and the Ten of Wands, which is fucking beautiful, Taurus. Like, Temperance is all about balancing out your energy and healing, and like it's rooted because there's earth, but it's also emotional because there's water. So it's like grounding your emotions, which it seems like is what needs to happen here for you to be able to embody whatever these thoughts, whatever these butterfly moments are for you. And I love it because the advice is like, let go of restriction. Like, it's time to release some shit. It's time to stop looking over your shoulder And like, here you are realizing that and being like, I'm not going to be able to heal until I release this. Because also, Taurus, like, bitch is trying to build a wall. Like, this is not a very good wall. That's why she always has to look over her shoulder, because it's not a very good wall. You know, so it's like, all right, let me stop trying to build a wall. Let me just balance out how I feel. And then, like, if I'm in control of my own emotions and my own responses to things as I move through life, I never have to have a wall, because I can protect myself with my words and my discernment and not being around people that I need to protect myself from. Obviously, the world is the world and there's always going to be things, but like, this is also you realizing like what people you don't feel great around and walking away from those kinds of situations and just seeing the truth of things about yourself and about these other people. And when we have Temperance and the Ten of Wands on the bottom of your deck, Taurus, it's really time to balance this out. And underneath that, we have the Page of Swords, the Star, and then the Eight of Pentacles, which is like being happy about your investments, and Six of Cups, and feeling reunited with your inner child and nostalgic for good reasons, not for like, I'm looking back because I have so much pain back there. I'm looking back because, oh, wasn't that like a beautiful thing? And this is an opportunity, I think, for you to create a moment for yourself that when you're older, to look back on and go, oh, that was such a beautiful moment. I'm so glad I made those shifts for myself. I'm so glad I let shit go. Yeah, I'm so glad I let shit go. Because then here we have like clear thinking, new ideas, and tremendous healing. You have the two major arcana cards for healing in your reading, Taurus. You have Temperance and you have the Star. And I'd argue that Judgment is also a healing card, because it's kind of healing denial a little bit, or healing like a lack of awareness around something. So I love this. You're doing a hard thing. Obviously, if you're really struggling with the energies we discussed in this reading and you're not, you know, in therapy or doing some kind of like group counseling, I would highly recommend it. Just being around like-minded people definitely helps you to feel less outcasted. And I'm not saying like, girlfriend, you need therapy, but I'm saying like, it doesn't hurt is what I'm getting at. All right, Taurus, I hope this reading was helpful. If it was, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I super appreciate it. And feel free to drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys about how this applies to your life. I do also offer a personal reading, so go ahead and check my email in the description box below. And I will see you soon. All right, take care.